everyone, welcome to Delicious Sparkly Cakes. This week I'm going to show you how to make the Addams family house. I think it's perfect for Halloween. Plus I've made the Morticia's cake topper last week, so it is perfect if we put them together. Now the cake is made with little as possible fondant, because I know that everyone enjoys more cakes with the buttercream instead of the fondant. So I really hope you enjoy, and let's have a look how simple it is to make it. To make this cake, I've used a cake which I've colored in orange and in black, which does make more of a Halloween kind of cake. I've used a square cake which I've divided by 4 so that I could have 4 different layers. Then I laid the first cake and I've put some delicious buttercream. And I carry on like this for the second layer. Third and the fourth as well. And this is the last one. Then I printed the house into A4 papers. Then I put it in front of the cake so that I knew where to cut the cake. I put the paper all on the left and I cut the part of the cake on the right, because the right part I'm gonna put it on top of this cake so that it's gonna be more taller, and it's gonna help me to make the tower as well. And to make sure that it will stand still, I put lots of cocktail sticks inside. At this point I realized I forgot to put the cake on the fridge as I usually do, and that's why my cake was a little bit too soft. So don't do it like me and put it in the fridge before cutting the cake. And this is what I did afterwards, and in fact it made a big difference. And what I did was to keep looking at the picture and then keep cutting. And cutting the roofs as well, diagonally. And I've cut the roof on the lower part of the house and on the tower as well. To crumb coat the cake, I've used 2 colored buttercream. The brown one for the tower and all the lower part, and then the dark grey, which it looks black actually on the video, but it is actually a little bit lighter, and that I used for the roofs, and also I'm gonna use it afterwards to cover the cake board as well. Meanwhile, I crumb coat the cake and put it in the fridge while to wait to dry a little bit. I've started to make the decorations, and I started to make the windows and the door as well. Now I'm going to show you how to make a couple of windows, because honestly they're very simple and they're all very similar. And to make the yellow window, I put the photo on top of the fondant already rolled, and then I traced the outside lines of the window, and then I cut the fondant. To paint the windows features, I've used some black edible colors. If you make a mistake like I did, and it's normal, you can just use a damp brush and take it off. As the cake is not ready yet, I'm still carry on making all the decorations, and what I'm doing here is the capitals of the house. And the technique is always the same, putting the paper on top of the fondant, trace the lines, and then cut as needed. To get the impression that it is a 3D capital, I've added more fondant on top, at the top and at the bottom, and then I've drawn lots of small semicircles. I always like to put some characters onto the cakes when I can, at least, because I think they stand out and the cake looks much more alive and nice. And that's why I thought to add the Addams family hand, because it is easy and plus it is cute as well. All you need to do is to make 4 cuts to make the fingers, then roll them to thin them with your fingers and let it dry like this, so that the hand will look like it is actually standing. If you want, you can add more details like the nails and some bones as well. Another character that I thought to make, and it is easy, is Cousing It, which is made with some orange fondant. To make the round glasses, I'm using some round fondant and other small pieces of black fondant too. And last, the hat, which it always has on, right? To make the hat, we're going to start from a black ball of fondant, and we're going to insert a ball tool in the middle. Then we're going to press a little bit all around it to make the base of the hat. And using a round cutter, we're gonna get rid of all the fondant that we're not going to need all around. Finally, we're going to add a strip of grey fondant all around it and put it on top of Cousing It. But first we're going to remove the top of it, of Cousing It, because otherwise the hat is going to be too high up. Now that the buttercream is hard, we're going to add the wooden effect. And first of all, we're going to make lots of lines with a pointed knife, and then we're gonna add all these lines with these tools. If you want, it is better to put it before in hot water, the tool, so that you won't get all the buttercream coming out. And with the same tool, but using the other part of it, we're going to add the shingles on the roof. But don't forget to clean your tool every time with a kitchen towel. Now we need to make as well lots of long strips of grey fondant, which have a wooden effect as well, and then we're gonna put it onto the cake, adding all the other features such as windows, doors, capitals as well. But before adding the characters, I'm going to cover the cake with the leftover dark grey buttercream. Here it is, the cake. Now let's add the characters to see how much better the cake is going to be. If you want to see how to make a Morticia, I've made another video and you can find in the description box. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, as I make one video every week about cake decorating and cake topper as well. Also, next week I think I'm going to make another spooky Halloween theme cake. So don't miss it and see you next week. But don't forget, be creative and have fun. Bye bye!